All right, thank you, George, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for our virtual Party in the Park. The importance of tonight is to really secure the park's foundation for the future and to provide opportunities and access for families of all to enjoy historic Arnolds Park. Throughout the evening, you're going to have an opportunity to give at all different levels throughout the night. And for those of us joining us for the first time, Historic Arnolds Park is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that provides access to family-focused activities that build lasting memories. I want to give you a little bit of a feel for our year in review, and I guess it's fitting for an amusement park to describe this past year as a roller coaster year. It certainly has been full of a lot of different twists and turns. So allow me to get a couple minutes to recap the time since we last got together at Party in the Park. But first, I cannot thank you enough for your generosity at last year's event. I was completely overwhelmed at the generosity that you showed towards the Queen too in our Fund to Need portion last year. And that has allowed us to make a lot of needed upgrades to the Queen. We've installed a new air conditioning system. We've done refreshes to the pilot house and to the galley. All new seating throughout the boat. And coming yet before next season, you're going to see all new windows and all new flooring throughout the boat as well. So thank you so much for your generosity at the Queen. You know, really this year, the Queen served as a very important ambassador for Okoboji. As we started the season through COVID-19, seeing the Queen go across the lake brought a little bit of normalcy to the season, and that just shows how iconic of a symbol she is and how grateful we are to have her. So we came into 2020 with some very high hopes. We went through an off-season and a pre-season where we thought we were going to have a record-breaking year. Our pre-sales of memberships and passes were up 30%. We had record events at Winter Games and Oktoberfest, and we had a fantastic lineup scheduled for the roof garden. And then, of course, we got to March, and COVID-19 hit. And that really rocked the world, causing us to cancel all of our roof garden shows, along with a number of weddings and corporate events that we had scheduled throughout the spring and the summer. And yet we persevered. We persevered with optimism that by summer, we might return to a bit of normalcy. Our staff diligently prepared for opening in May. Unfortunately, our opening date got delayed to just after Memorial Day, and we opened with several extra safety precautions in place. Precautions such as limited capacity, temperature screenings for all of our guests, hand sanitizer stations throughout the park, face coverings for our employees, social distancing protocols, and ride cleaning procedures. I am so proud of how our team developed and executed upon these procedures to provide our guests with a safe and enjoyable atmosphere at Historic Arnolds Park. After a brief shutdown in mid-May, we reopened again with the requirement of face coverings for all of our guests. Now, Historic Arnolds Park was one of the very first amusement parks in the country to reopen. We did so in a manner that I feel was very safe and conscientious, and I'm so proud of our ability to do that. And during all of our uncertainty, the staff was committed to providing an Okoboji experience and to bring a little bit, as I said, normalcy to these very tough times. It would have been a whole lot easier to be victim to the pandemic and to not open for the season, but our guests and our community need us, so we pressed on. We marked out queue lines with spaces 6 feet apart for people to get on the rides. We loaded every other car on different rides, such as the roller coaster. We wear masks when it's 90 degrees out to protect our employees and to protect our guests. We paint circles on Preservation Plaza to allow for social distancing at our concerts. And of course, we pressed on with fireworks every single Saturday night. We work so hard because it is our pleasure to bring smiles to faces and to build memories. Even if we can't see those smiles beneath the masks, we know that they're there. So nobody's going to forget the COVID summer of 2020. But we would like to think that some of those memories will include a trip to Historic Arnolds Park. Of course, our property also transformed over the course of the last year. The new boardwalk is beautiful, and the new State Pier is absolutely stunning. So we're giving reasons for people to come to Historic Arnolds Park every single day. Of course, COVID-19 impacted our business. Amusement parks and live entertainment venues such as the Roof Garden all across the country have been devastated by this pandemic, and we are not immune. Our attendance this year is 1/3 of what it was last year. This makes for difficult times that honestly a few short years ago might have put the park on the brink. But thankfully, because of you, we've been able to draw upon our emergency funds and weather this storm. The park is currently free from long-term debt, and we intend to keep it that way. Now that said, our emergency fund will take a heavy hit through this pandemic, and we need to rebuild it to ensure that we have a strong foundation for the park moving forward for future generations. We are projecting operating revenues will be about $2.5 million behind last year. And while we certainly hope that 2021 brings a return to normalcy, truth is we really don't know. We must ensure that we have a strong foundation in place to be here for future generations. And we know that our community will support us, and we thank you for that support. And I use the word community, and when I think about the park, I really do think about community. For over 130 years, the park has been what makes Okoboji special. I, for one, could not imagine Okoboji without a thriving amusement park. So many of you have already heard the story of how impactful the park was on my family's decision to make our lives in Okoboji. Over 15 years, that tie to the community grew from, yeah, I think we'll move there, to we couldn't imagine being anywhere else. And the park has been a big part of that every single step of the way. So you're going to hear from others tonight just what the park means to them. But to me, we're a symbol of simpler times. We are about families playing together. We encourage smiles and we build lasting memories. But we also provide employment. We contribute to the local economy. We serve as a unique recruitment tool to businesses in the area. And we give back to the community through so many of our free events and activities, such as a free beach, a free access to the waterfront, free access to the park through admissions, and so many other things, free museums and so many activities for families. All in all, we help make Okoboji a truly special place. So thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for your support. And most importantly, thank you for making our community so special. Please enjoy the evening.